Kato. Good afternoon, everyone. So what I'm going to start, I'm going to give a brief discussion or presentation about this new project that we have in the country, in the city of Duqm. So I represent, there's a lot of companies involved in the city of Duqm, but myself and my colleague, Mr. Hilal, we represent the Port of Duqm. For here, what we try to talk about locally and internationally is the location. I can repeat it maybe 3 times. Location, location, location. This for us is very important for us and for the following points. Number 1, we're located outside the Strait of Hormuz. A lot of people would ask, why is this important? So number 1, the most important part is if we are located outside the Strait of Hormuz, which is this part here, number 1, the insurance cost in these waters, in the Strait of Hormuz, is very high. 1. 2, we try to connect East and West Africa. Our major role from the commercial department or the investment department is we try to see, okay, where's the booming market today? Asia. So we do a lot of road shows in India, China, Japan, trying to connect them to Duqm to have a transshipment to East and West Africa. And that's why today, and I'll explain more in my other slides, we're not only a port, we have a logistics area plus an industrial area as well that falls under the branch of the Port of Duqm. As you can see here on the left-hand side of the port of the zone, that's what phase 1 of the project, where it's around 90 kilometers to 43 kilometers. On the right side of the picture is the phase 2 of the project. All in all, the whole area of Duqm is 2,000 square kilometers. And if you look at it in reality, it's actually 7 to 8 times larger than Singapore. The incentive packages that we offer as a zone, not only as a port. Number 1, so I won't speak about all of the points here, but today what's important for us is the 100% foreign ownership. 1, tax exemption for 30 years. This includes the exemption of import and export duties. No currency restrictions, and the one-stop station service. So say example today, we have a client that wants to bring in a cargo to our port, but at the same time they have a logistics land or industrial land available. So our team in Port of Duqm, we will assist you from A to Z. And there's one party that you deal with, and it's the Port of Duqm investment/commercial team. Access to ONG projects, the oil and gas projects. This for us is very, very important. So as of November 2017, the first shipment of the oil and gas industry has reached Duqm. And we're expecting, inshallah, in the next 5 to 6 years to receive 700,000 tons of these equipment coming in through the port. Why is it very important? So if you look at the proximity of the Port of Duqm to the major oil fields of the country, as you can see behind me, it's a 300-kilometer radius. So there's no any type of restrictions bringing your cargo through the port and directly to the oil fields. Initially, it used to be brought through Suhar, but I think the government is trying to look at it in a different way where you can cut time and cost. So as I said, from Duqm to the major oil fields of the country is a 300-kilometer radius. So the transportation cost actually lowers down. And maybe some of you are aware, 2 to 3 weeks ago, Oman has said it that we are the largest deposits of gypsum in the world today. Initially it used to be Thailand, but Oman got the top spot for this today. Transportation system, initially the whole GCC, the Gulf Cooperation Council, wanted to connect itself with the Interrail network, but that got prolonged for a bit. But what we decided not we, but what the country decided to do in Duqm is probably start as a phase 1 from an area down south, Shuamia, to Duqm. This will be mainly for minerals. So studies and the designs are ongoing, and the next couple of years, you'd see a train link from between these 2 cities. Who are we as Port of Duqm? So we are a 50-50% joint venture with the government of the country and the Port of Antwerp in Belgium. So Antwerp is considered one of the leading ports around the world. They've been there for years and years, over 100 years. They are the main importers of a lot of cars coming in for Europe. So it's been brought through the port of Antwerp and supplied to the rest of Europe. So this is, and we are trying to learn from the best, where they're bringing down the operations and the marketing, and we're learning from them how to build up the port. But I'd like to mention this as well. The full investment has been done by the government of the country, Oman. Port of Duqm, compared to a lot of ports today in the world or in the region, we're a bit different. We wear 4 hats. So as you can see behind me, we are the Port Authority, 1. 2, we are the terminal operator today. We are the landlord and the single focal point for investors. So let me just brief about the last 2 points, the landlord and single focal point. Under Port of Duqm Belt, we have an area of logistics, as I mentioned earlier, and an area for industrial. As of today, if a client's interested opening up something or investing in the logistics side, being a warehouse, open yard, cold storage, depending on what the client needs, we'll be able to offer that. But we only act as a landlord. So if anyone looks for in terms of investment, now is the right time to come to Duqm. Duqm's booming, not only in terms of the port side, but the rest of the city. What we're trying to do, we're trying to tie our hands with the authority, with Oman Dry Dock, with the hotels, is to all help build the city from scratch. A single focal point for investors. So what we try to do as well, or what we are doing, myself and my colleague, Mr. Talal Al Barwani, we try to look for investors who can have the same vision as we do, as a port, where you plant your seeds now to get the fruits later. What have we been doing since the port started up to today? So the oil and gas project cargo, as I mentioned, November 2017, this is a very big month for us. We received our first and ongoing ships for the oil and gas industry. The OCTG market, this is pretty much all the pipes for the oil wells, for the oil rigs within the country. The chemicals, what you see here on the picture, this is what we're trying, or this is what we're doing actually at the moment, which is a very big business for the oil fields. Offshore developments, we have an area for Masira oil inside the port. Construction works within the port, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of developments happening. I would like to invite all of you to do come down. Just let us know when, so we can actually show you around to see all the construction that's happening today within the port. STS cargo handling, this pretty much means ship-to-ship handling that we are capable of doing today. So in short, what does STS cargo handling mean? If 2 ships are together, 1 ship breaks down, we can easily move whatever cargo is within the first ship to the new ship for it to sail away. We can either do it alongside, which means at the commercial quay, or in the middle of the ocean. So we are capable of handling that. Dolomite and limestone exports, mentioned before, April 2016, 50,000 tons to 60,000 tons we already exported to India, but not only limited to India, to Asia and different countries as well. Navy activities, we have an area for the Navy where they come and relax for 2-3 days before they continue the journey. Cement imports, we already have a company within the port premises, Raisut Cement, who's been there since 2 years ago. The Oman Dry Dock activities, Oman Dry Dock is the only dry dock in the country, and they have been working, they inaugurated in April 2012, and inshallah the next couple of years they're going to start shipbuilding. For those of you who are not sure what does Oman Dry Dock do, pretty much is maintenance of ships. That's exactly what they do. Again, going in detail regarding the commercial quay, what you see up in the first picture today, this is how it looks like now as we speak. So we are working on the left-hand side of the port, while the right-hand side is being under construction. Then once that is ready, all what we're going to do is switch. Start building on the left-hand side, and the ships will start calling on the right-hand side. As you can see, there's 4 terminals. Terminals pretty much means rooms for different type of cargoes. We have a room for dry bulk, which means minerals. The Navy, a room for the Navy. A room for containers, and a room for the multi-purpose. But as you can see, inshallah, by the end of 2019, we decided, or as a company, or as an authority, to add one more terminal, which is very important for us, which is called the RoRo. Roll on, roll off, purely for cars. One thing I forgot to mention, what's very important here is the depth of the commercial quay, as you can see up here. The depth of this commercial quay is minus 18 meters, which is quite deep to welcome very large ships. But the approach channel coming in to the port is minus 19 meters. So this, if you compare from Duqm to the ports surrounding us, the same way I've mentioned, 18 and 19, you're looking at around maybe 12 and 13 for other ports. So this is the advantage that we have, inshallah, for the future. In summary, so I stand here in front of you to say one thing. We're trying to build a city from scratch. Today is the right time for investments. Look at the logistics side, look at for the industrial area. Now is the right time. So please, I'm here, and my colleague, Mr. Hilal Al-Balushi, we're here to answer any type of questions that you may have. And as well, we have our business cards that if you want, we can actually meet even later on, or the next couple of days, or even in the offices. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.